Hello there, this is Dan Hollifield from Aphelion Webzine. Oh wait, wrong hat. There, that's better. I look more like me now, don't I? Well, here we are for issue 218 of Aphelion, which makes it June of 2017. And there are a huge amount of stories going on this month. You have all kinds of stuff, and unfortunately I was the short story editor for this month, so if you have any problems with those short stories, it's all on me. I was the one that messed up, not the writers, not the staff, just me. And first off, I'd like to say we now have a brand new short story editor. Carolyn contacted us by way of a notice that we asked Andrew over at Critters Workshop to post on the Predators and Editors website. Predators and Editors, we've gotten in the top 10 and top 5 of that for several years running now. They're all good people over there, and I'm not saying that just because we actually happen to get in the top 5 or top 10, but because they're dedicated folks and they want to help new writers become better writers. But Carolyn saw the notice and she said, sounds like something I can do. Sounds like a team I'd like to be part of. So she contacted us. She joined us on Facebook. We got in chat. The staff and I were really impressed with this lady's qualifications. She's been an English teacher in middle schools and at the college level for the past 27 years. Right now, she's looking to improve her own skills so that she can publish her own book. And we are doing our best to show her anything that she might not have ever run into before. She's already downloaded all the programs that we use to produce Aphelion, all the word processors, all the web page editors, and she has been forwarded all the submissions that had built up while I was editing the 10 stories for shorts that came in after I'd already hit my web space, basically. 10 to 12 short stories per issue is about our hard limit. Otherwise, people wouldn't have time to read everything. So we try and limit that. Just stuff just keeps coming in. Before I was finished corresponding with the first 3 writers that you're going to get to read this month, 5 more submissions had come in, and I had replied, well, okay, kind of full for June, but you mind if I hold you over for July? Because it looks like some good stuff. I haven't been able to do anything more than scan it quickly, but these things, this is what production of a magazine is like. You wind up, you're working on the issue you're just about to go live with, and more submissions come in. And this is never a bad thing. This is never a bad thing, because that's one of the things you want is more submissions, more writers. They give you a chance to reach a wider audience, to teach a wider range of writers. And that's what Aphelion is all about, really, is teaching. If you're one of our readers and you've never written anything and never submitted anything, the deal is we try and gift the world with new professional writers. A writer submits a story to Aphelion, we work with them, We help them try and improve the story in whatever way it can be improved. Sometimes what we can do is not much because they were really good when they came to us the first time. Sometimes you have to go into a bit more detail and go for it. And you work with the writer. You don't just take what they've sent you and put HTML codes on it and make it into a web page. That's not going to keep your website online very long. You work with the writers. You ask them to do the rewrites by suggestions that you make. You may want to consider this. I noticed that this section was a really hard change from the section that was just before it. You might want to include some kind of indicator for scene changes. Um, this character appeared out of the blue. Uh, can can you supply us with some more background? Because it's a good character. It's a really interesting character, but the appearance is rather sudden. It seems like somebody just changed channels from something else and dropped that in. But you can fix that. Well, I know you can because the other stuff that you did and the rest of it is so good. And this is the kind of thing that I speak to writers about. Um, Mostly when I'm doing the Marinibrium stories, because that's my main editorial gig. But this past month for June, I was the short story editor, and it was on my shoulders. Now, I got to warn you, most of the stories this month are rather dark. It seems like we've got more horror submissions than fantasy or science fiction, but we did get fantasy and science fiction as well. So relax if you're not really into horror. You've got stuff there for you too. And let's see what was. Oh, the next point I wanted to make. I wanted to congratulate Daniel Johnson for doing such a good job with the flash challenges in our forums section. He has managed to bring in a lot of new people trying their hand for flash fiction at the same for the first time, and he has, from all the replies that I've read on the forums, he has been helping them above and beyond the Call of Duty, and he has what it takes to be a good editor. I'm hoping that everything will work out, and he'll see his way fit to fit in. Uh, but at the moment, he's rather determined that Flash is his main interest, other than helping new writers. And helping new writers is what we're all about. So, we'll see what happens. Um, he should be sometime soon coming up to be the official Flash editor for that section on Aphelion, unless he gets frustrated, which I hope doesn't happen. I really hope it doesn't happen. I'm very proud of the work he's done, and I'm very hopeful that he'll see fit to continue and take the next step and go to the production side of laying out uh, the submissions for the Flash section, as well as advising and editing and being a mentor to the people that submit to the Flash challenges in the forums. There's two different parts of the magazine, and those two jobs are very hard. Now, he's doing one very well, and I hope he will be able to do the other one very well, as I have confidence he can. Now, let's see. If you've read my written editorial for this month, yes, it's long-winded. I'm sorry about that. I modified something that I had written back during the Stone Age about what I do to do the pre-production, do the editing, do the all the different steps that go into taking a story from, oh, this is a daydream, to, hey, this thing's done. Let's put it on. And as I said, I got a little bit long-winded. I've always been that way, and you're witness to it right now. But for some writers, this will be something new that they can learn something from. From others, it'll be something so old hat that they can laugh at it. I left in all the old school references to what I used to do, even though technology has changed and the way we do things has changed, the way I do things has changed, because I've grown as a writer. I'm a better writer now than I used to be. Thank goodness. And all these things come together in this little essay. There's not a whole lot to it except for the actual word count. You know, it's good. It's been updated slightly. One day I will probably update it completely, but then that's the trouble with updates. 2 days later, you got to update it again because something else has changed and come along and made the entire landscape different again. All right. Now, let's see. 22nd of June on Yvonne Mason's Off the Chain website, Stephanie Osborne and I will be interviewed. There is a date in August, same website. Yvonne Mason will interview Edward Sullivan and myself. That should be in early August. I think it's the 9th, but I'm not sure. I'd have to look that up, and I don't have the paperwork in front of me. Now, let's see. I'm running up on 12 and a half minutes now. I don't want to overrun by too many minutes. The editorial target for the videos is 15 minutes. And I really have to watch the clock. Now, what we have here is an opportunity for all of us to find something within the pages of Aphelion that appeals to you most specifically, to find tips and tricks and hints as a writer that you can use to further your career in going pro, to learn more about editing, which I did this month because there are things that I was not really good at that I got better at. And that's a story best not told because I've sweated blood trying to get these stories to where I did not make the writers look bad. And I'm not the world's best editor. I'm not even the 20th best. So I do the best I can with my skill set, which is still increasing. I'm still able to learn. I'm not so set in my ways that I can't learn. Now, let's see. Here we go. Yes. What I recommend to you is once you wade through my lengthy editorial, you go to the short stories, the long fiction, the poetry, the serialized stories, and the flash fiction, and comment on everything. Everything that impresses you in any way whatsoever, even if it's negatively. Sometimes the writers need to hear that they didn't quite succeed in this particular element of what they were trying to do. It will help them learn. There's no need to be rude, but you can say, this worked, but I felt like this didn't work quite as well. And if you have suggestions, feel free to make them. Because how else are we going to keep this little school going? I've been calling Aphelion a school very much this month, and I never really thought of it that way. I thought of it as a permanent floating writers workshop, but actually we are a school, and what we want is for everybody to graduate, and we want you to graduate with honors, because we care about everything you're doing, everything you're writing, everything you're reading. We want to do right by you, and that's what we're here for. All right, I'm already a minute over, and I'm going to hit the stop button right about now. Y'all have a great day. Read everything you can read, comment on everything you can, and thank you. Thank you very much.